100, what's our answer?
1.5.
What's that?
1.5.
1.5. Now let's think about this for a minute. It's 15 is 10% of what number? Anyone?
10. What?
We're working on 6. 15 is 10% of what number?
100.
Why? Why is it wrong? Very good. How come?
It's larger than.
Excellent. 15 is 10%. What is our answer?
1.5.
You
Good.
didn't know either.
I most certainly do. I'm doing it on purpose.
I was talking.
Oh,
Okay.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Wilson, stay with me. Okay. So, do you understand why I'm doing that? When you get that answer and you look at it and it makes no rhyme or reason, you know you flop the numbers. Okay? The percent's always easy because it's going to tell you what it is. It's always over 100, no matter what. So you can only get one thing wrong, correct? Good talk. So let's switch this.
So what if
That
you write it
placement
down?
makes no
So
sense.
15, no it does because you can see the mistake. Okay, good job. Okay, so we're going to multiply these, right? So we're going to be 15 times 100, 1500 equals 10x. Equals 10x. Divide by 10, divide by 10. What is x?
150.
150. Okay, now let's talk about this for a second. This is saying 15 is 10% of what number? We don't know what the number is, okay? But this ends up being the small number because it's 15 over 150, which is 10%, right? We look at this at fraction, we drop the 15. That's 10%, right? 15 goes into 15 one time, and 0. 10%. So we have a way to check ourselves. We can always plug the number back in and check it. But once again, you want to ask yourself, is that number smaller or is it larger? And that's going to tell you where the number should go. If the number doesn't make sense, it means you transpose the number. Right, Baca? Baca, eyeballs, please. Okay, good. All right, let's look at this one. So we don't know what the number is, right? But we're 107%. So where does that number need to go?
What does that say?
107% of what number is 37.8?
That's like number 2.
Right, exactly. Because it's 107%, right? So we're going to be 107 over 100, if this never changes, equals 107% has to be larger, right? So 37.8 goes at the top, x on the bottom. Do we see why? It's higher, it's more than 100%. So that means that this number has to be bigger. Our result has to be bigger. So that means we have to go at the top because this is a smaller number. Make sense? Okay, let's go ahead and cross multiply. So we're going to have 107x and then equals 37.8 times 100.
You're a little voice.
That does not surprise me.
Not like that. Like I heard something like a little.
No, that was better that way.
It's like the gradual.
Yeah.
Okay, 3780, right? Divide by 107, divide by 107, and then we're going to get our answer. Not yet.
Just listen to my stomach.
First 40 minutes, and we want to get through the lecture.
It's 43.
Okay, good.
35.33.
Yes. Okay, so let's think about this. We know the number at this point has to be larger on the top because it's 107. We solve for it, right? 35.33. Because this is 107 and this is 100, it's going to be higher. Is that correct? Think. Higher, right? Higher. Is the number higher?
Yeah. No. Wait.
Tell me. Is the number higher?
Looks low.
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay.
We did it wrong.
We didn't do it wrong.
No.
This is the
Why is it low then?
this is the one time this happens. What was the number at the top? Isn't this 107 higher than 100? So this one is actually okay. Because 107%, this number is going to be larger at top, and the number at the bottom is going to be smaller. Now, let's talk about this. we're 35, or excuse me, 37.8 over 35.33. Ruben, watch this. If we divide this, we're going to get 107%, right? Because this number is larger. So this one is correct. It is correct because 107% means that number is larger at the top. And it's the only time it happens. When your percent is over 100, that number has to be larger at the top. Because guess what? Part and whole. So let's think about this. If we have $1, but we have 5 quarters, what do we have?
$1? Yeah, 27.
Said $5.
So for 5 quarters over 4, right? We have $1.25, right? Because we're over $1. The whole's the dollar. No.
That way,
Okay. Any questions on this one?
no.
Okay, where?
So you know how it's like 35.33?
Yes.
If it was 35.37, we would round it up and
They got it wrong.
We focus on the third digit.
I know, but like I was gonna ask you this.
I'm trying to answer.
And I'm
we-
gonna cover up. If it was like 3.6, would you round it up to 3.7?
If I had a unicorn at the end of the 3, what would I do with it?
Unicorn 3.
Right, does a unicorn matter? You're bringing up a hypothetical situation that doesn't matter.
I'm just saying you did that on the top.
Yes, how many digits do we have? 2, right?
Yeah.
Put in your, if you need to, put it in your calculator, run it again. It only gave us 2. We normally go to 2 places. Why do we normally go to 2 places? How many places does money have? 2. Does this, is this numeric as far as money goes? Can you have 4 100ths of a cent? No, it's only in cents, right? So that's why we round it. Sometimes your problems will say, round to the nearest 10, round to the nearest 1,000, 100, and so on. We're not even there. That was,
If it would say round, you do it.
yes, correct. Okay. However, this gave us 2 digits, we were
Wait,
fine.
Didn't you do that on one problem?
Yes, because there were 3 digits, right?
That's what I was talking about. So only if you round them if there's 3 digits?
Typically, yes. Or depending on what it tells you. If it tells you what place to round it to, then round it to that place.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we took care of this one. What about this one?
You move the decimal.
What's that?
You don't you move the decimal?
Possibly.
And then multiply.
But do we really need to do that? Didn't I tell you that we can solve this with all these problems? Say yes. No, say yes. Yeah. Okay, good job. Okay, so we're 50, right? So we're going to write 50 over 100, right? And then we have the number 73. Let's think about this. 50% of 73. 50%. What goes on the bottom, what goes on the top? 50% of it. Is 50%, what's 50% of $20?
10.
Okay, so 10 goes to the top and 20 goes to the bottom. So what happens if we take 73 and divide it by 2?
It's an odd number.
Okay, and what is 50% of 73? It's half of it, correct?
Yes.
So what needs to go at the bottom?
73.
Good. 73x. Do we see why?
No.
Is this number have to be less?
No, never mind. Yeah.
Okay, understand? If it's 50% of a number, it has to be less.
So I sneeze.
Amazing. Okay, let's cross multiply. Right? So what's 70? What's 73 times 50? I mean, you got a calculator in front of you.
2,650.
Divide by 100. Divide by 100. Means we're going to move the decimal place twice. 36.50. Now, does that look about half that number?
Yes.
Sure it does. Yeah, if we take 36 and a half times 2, we're going to get the same exact number. We're going to get 73. This one checks out. And remember, we're looking for what's close. We don't actually have to run the math, but we can tell whether we got it right or not. So this is our answer. Ruben, you see why I'm doing this? You literally can use this formula to solve everything. Now, there are quicker ways. I'm not teaching quicker. I'm teaching right. No, not till the lecture's over. 210%. This is one of those weird problems, right? Okay, so we're going to be 210 over what?
100.
100. Now I have a question. 210% of 30. What's going to go at the top or the bottom?
What's on top?
Which one's going to go at the bottom?
30.
Good. No. In your bag. 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 Well, please, in your bag. Thank you, buddy. Get it in your bag. Okay. So this is the one time that the number on the top is larger. It's like having 5 quarters to your dollar. Right, Baca? Baca, let me see your eyeballs, please. Good. Okay, yeah, Mercedes, go.
How would you know, like, whether to put it on top or on the bottom?
Okay, if typically the percent is higher, I'm gonna go through 2 of them. You know that's incredibly rude, right?
I know what you're trying to say, I'm bored.
Well, that's incredibly rude. Okay, I'm glad you learned from it. 50%. So it's half of it, right? So we know 73 goes on the bottom. 210%.
But you could do it even number, like
210%. That number goes right here, this number goes right here. If this number is larger, we know that 30 is going at the bottom and this number is going to be larger, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that one's just like this one, right? The number at the top is going to be larger. It's the only time when it's over 100%.
Oh, then it would be on the top.
Wouldn't 30 be on? It's smaller.
Not necessarily. Doesn't that throw it off? This 100 refers to the 30, like Baca was telling us. Right? This number is going to be higher because it's 200% up, 210% of it. So 210% of this number, that's a pretty darn good return, right? So the number has to be larger at the top. Make sense? Now, Ruben, watch this. We're part over whole, right? So that means we're going to have improper fraction when it's all said and done. And that's okay because of that 210%. So if this is above 100, you can pretty much guarantee that the number goes at the bottom. Okay? So let's go ahead and cross multiply. So we're 30 times 210, and then 100x, right? Equals 100x. So 210 times 30,
6,300.
6,300,
6,300.
equals 100x, divide by 100, divide by 100,
63.00.
or 63. There's no reason to write the zeros. Now, 210%. Bottom. Ruben, see this? 30 at the bottom, 63 at the top. Forget that it's 210. Focus on 200. Is that double?
Yeah.
That's double. This one's okay. 63 is our answer. Okay, last 3 are pretty easy, right? How do you write a fraction as a decimal?
Point 43. Oh, you move it to 2.
Divide. Very good. Put 43 in your calculator, numerator, divide it by 100. What's the answer?
0.8.
Okay, that's how you write it as a decimal.
Wait, didn't you tell you over like 2 spots over?
Could you have? 1, 2, same answer? Yes. You could have done the same thing.
So that's another way to do it.
Yes.
If you don't have
But just remember, a fraction, what type of math is this?
Division.
Right, so if we divide, we're going to get it as a decimal within the calculator.
You said what's
Now,
the fraction?
That doesn't work. That doesn't work if the number's not 100, right? If the number's not 100, then we can't just move the decimal because the numbers are going to be impacted. Like we're at 17 over 20. That's not going to work.
That's
If we're just going to move the decimal and not actually run the calculation. Yes. Okay, next one. 85.85 is a fraction. How do we write that? Yes. Let me show you how you do this. Write 8, 5. You want a 0 for every number. 0, 0, add a 1. You're done. However, is there something I can do on this problem? You sure?
Simplify.
Yeah, aren't these divisible by 5?
Yes.
Yes. So you divide both sides by 5, right?
Over.
5 goes into 8 one time with how much left over?
That's 4.
5.
4 times.
No,
Stop it.
it's-
Put 85 in your calculator, divided by 5. 85 divided by 5.
17.
117. 17.
Thank you. And 100 divided by 5. Okay, are we done? Is this simplified?
Yeah.
Yes, it can't go any lower. We're done. 17 over 20. Okay, Same thing I just told you, okay? What always goes at the bottom?
100.
Okay, so 100 at the bottom, write this as 1.5. Can we reduce this?
Yes.
No. Let me explain why. Take 100 and divide it by 1.5 and tell me what the answer is.
Minus 0.
No. Take 100 and divide it by 1.5 and tell me what the answer is. What is it?
0.015.
It's 6.
Thank you.
6.66667.
Yes. So 0.5 or a half doesn't actually go into this. This is simplified. This is finished. Why? The only thing that we can reduce this is by 1.5. So if we divide this by 1.5, divide this by 1.5, what's 100 divided by 1.5? 6.66. We can't have a decimal at the bottom. This is reduced. It can't go in any lower. That's our answer.
Put 666.
Yeah, because that's what the answer is. Okay, stay with me for a minute.
The devil's number?
I just showed you how to solve all these problems, correct?
Yeah.
These are just like your handout. Flip over the sheet, look at it. You're basically just not doing the word problems. You guys know how to do this. Okay? Remember, it's this formula, apply it to each and every question. Okay?
We keep you there.
Yes, you want to be turning in. Chris, stay in the desk, please.